Justin Townes Earle, the Bing Lounge. Welcome back to Portland, Justin.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was. I was trying to remember, and thank you for helping me, that it was back in February when the Bing Lounge was all brand new and you were helping us celebrate in here. It's great to see you again. How's it been going? I mean, Harlem River Blues has been out, hardest working guy in show business, you know?
Yeah, it's been out and been doing very well for me. I mean, it's definitely taken me a step up, but it's, you know, with a step up comes all the fast-moving issues of life, and it's definitely gotten a little more hectic.
Yeah, where you can't quite kick back. I always wonder how artists decide what songs they're going to put out, you know, together with a video. And I caught the video for your Slippin' and Slidin', which is shot in your beloved Manhattan, and it's very vulnerable. The song is quite vulnerable, and it's beautifully shot. How do you say, okay, I can do that. I can put myself out there?
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of the whole idea of this way of life is if you're not ready to put yourself out there, then you really shouldn't be here. I mean, I definitely, you know, sometimes the level at which I am out there is a little, it does become a little bit much for me. But I've really never had. Like before I was 18 years old, there were two, you know, tell-all books you know, that don't really tell any truths whatsoever out there about my father's life that decided so there were a bunch of people that had already decided a lot of things about me before I even had a chance to even get out. So I've learned to just not pay any attention to it, which I'm really good at doing.
You know, your music to me is so much about a time and a place, very geographic. And there was a moment where I thought, you said you were moving out of Manhattan and heading for London, and I thought that's a really big switch. But then you say, no, that's not going to happen. What did you change your mind, or?
Yeah, I changed my mind. It just didn't. At the point when I decided to do it, it looked like it was going to be the right move. But then some, you know, circumstances, and usually, you know, what that means is a girl, you know, came along, and I ended up not making the move because it just didn't make any sense anymore geographically.
Yeah. A little bit about your songwriting. I wonder how it has to happen for you. You know, you're a working artist. This album has been so wonderful for you in getting out there. Where do you write your songs? Is it on a bus? Is it in a corner coffee shop in the night? What's your kind of modus operandi? I
kind of just write all the time. I don't have times a day that I need to sit down to write.
Don't bother me now. I'm working my thing.
I just don't. I find something really unartistic about that. There's certain kinds of writing that demand that you sit down like that, like prose and poetry, and a lot of things demand that you sit down and pay attention to them like that. But songs really don't. I think that the people tend to overthink songs because they need to be, you know, songs are meant. I mean, the best songs are written in a thesis kind of style where you have kind of a hard beginning, middle, and end, and only the most, you know, important information is given to the people. You know, so it leaves room for imagination, and I find that if I sit down and try to force things down onto a page, that it ruins the imagination part of it. And so I just carried notepads with me everywhere, and I mean, Harlem River Blues, I don't actually own a smartphone anymore, but I wrote Harlem River Blues in the memo pad on a smartphone. You know, that's just kind of the way that it was the easiest thing on hand at the time.
Was that a calculated thing not to have a smartphone anymore, like kind of unplugging, or was it just?
I just got tired of them.
You're glued to it.
Yeah, I break them all the time. I break them and I lose them, and so I was on my, I think my 6th or 7th iPhone of the year, and I decided that I didn't want one anymore.
Yeah, and you do have to kind of trust that that process is just going to work. You got to trust that there's something. What are you thinking about these days? What's catching your imagination right now?
You know, I'm still kind of, you know, I'm kind of at a point in my life where, you know, in a couple months I turn 30, and a lot of things have changed in my life to where I'm not, you know, I'm for the first time, like, you know, waking up in the morning and realizing that I'm not a kid anymore, and that, you know, and that, you know, I've wasted a ton of time in my life. You know, I've wasted a gargantuan amount of my time. I spent, my entire, teenage through early 20s completely, I don't remember any of it, So I got some, it's just trying to, it's time to, I'm realizing that at this point in my life, I do have a chance to actually make new memories and not have to live with the ones that that are already there. There's no reason to.
Yeah, time to bring in a whole new batch of ideas. But having said that, Harlem River Blues has been such a good thing for you in so many ways, and I want to let everybody know that there's a little thing called Americana Music Association Honors and Awards that's coming up next Thursday. It's a famed Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, which you also say is your other home.
Yes.
You're going to be there, right? Because
I am.
This guy has been nominated for Album of the Year and Song of the Year.
Yeah.
Right here. We have him in the Bing Lounge. Justin Townes Earle.